Okay, hello Scorpio. So, we are doing your reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got a whole new setup here, so I'm excited. But let's just get straight into it. So, Spirit, what are the messages for Scorpio? Wow, popping right out. It's been a really active day, and off the bat, there's been the Tower card that's been coming out a lot recently in the daily messages. So I've got a feeling that with the whole collective, there's, a sense of revelation here. But let's see what's going on. We have the Strength card at the back of the deck. So interesting with that tornado, especially. I saw like a TikTok about strong winds and like being carried away, and I was listening to Blown Away by Carrie Underwood today, and I feel like that is very fitting for the energy. I feel like you are being shifted or being moved out of one place in your life into the next phase. And if it's not by your own volition, it is by force. I feel like, the winds of change, the winds of karma, the winds of the universe and justice are coming in, and they're like, you know what? If you won't move yourself, we will move you. Move or be moved at this point. So let's see what you have here. You have the Seven of Swords, the Sun card, the Moon card. Interesting because it's 19 and 18. The Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. This is interesting and peculiar. I think that the moon being at the center of the reading is interesting. It definitely gives that there is a transition happening here. If not a transition it feels like there could be a period of transition. This could be a transitional period in your life. It's interesting how all of your cycles are tied to each other, though I feel like there's one cycle that seems to be independent from the rest, which ends up being the state of the mother, the state when you are most engaged with other people's energy, other people's needs, other people's identities. And there's this energy of renewed focus here. I feel like there's an energy of renewed focus. It's interesting because seeing the sun on this side, which is the energy that I feel like you're transitioning out of, it had me kind of blocked for a minute because I was like, wait, but the Sun card, the Sun card is usually so positive, and it is positive here. But what I see here is movement away from an energy that constantly asks you to be a martyr for someone else, probably more so for your community, for the people that you need to give to, for the people who ask a lot of you, for the people with whom you nourish. It feels like there is a movement away from like martyrdom and stealing time away from yourself, stealing time away from your joy, stealing time away from your practice in order to sustain other people. It feels like there's a movement away from that. There also could be, I was going to say here, because I have this rock here, and this is a rock that is actually like, if you can see that, it's, what are those things called? It's ancient. And what I see here is like there could also be the breaking of a cycle, especially an ancestral cycle. And that's funny because the reason I knew to do Scorpio's reading first is because I got the Death card. And then I got the Two of Cups, and I looked up what the Two of Cups, what sign the zodiac, what zodiac sign the Two of Cups is connected to, and it's connected to Scorpio. So I knew that I was supposed to do Scorpio's reading first. And actually, it's super funny because I wanted to do Sagittarius, and what comes after Scorpio? Sagittarius. So there's this energy of putting others before yourself, and I feel like Spirit is saying that in this transitional period, we are moving you out of a state where you are always putting others before you. It feels like you're trying to get away from that into this new energy with the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. It feels very youthful. That's why I feel like I'm seeing like a breaking of ancestral patterns here. And I also feel like there's a highlight on breaking specifically ancestral patterns within like the feminine line, within the matriarchal line of your family. It feels like you are breaking away from certain patterns, especially I feel like there's a healing of the inner child right now, and a focus on self-discovery, understanding who you are, not basing who you will be in your future based off of who you've been in your past, not basing who you will be in this present life based off who your ancestors have been, who the women before you have been, not basing the kind of woman you will be, the kind of man you will be, the kind of person you will be, the kind of friend you'll be, the kind of partner you'll be, the kind of parent you would be, based off of what your family has done in the past, but paving a new path for yourself. There's a lot of adventure here and a lot of open-mindedness, open-heartedness to the idea of going your own way, trusting in yourself, trusting what you have to build. There's an energy of independence here, moving beyond reliance on, the structures, the foundations, the homes that have been built by your family, the life that has been built by your family, the ways of living that have been established by your family. I actually want to pull a card from the Light Seers, the Light Workers, Work Your Light deck, because there's a card in here that I'm wondering if you'll get. Let me just shuffle. I know I'm kind of jumping, but when you feel it, you feel it. Yeah, there's like a break the pattern card here in this one, and I'm wondering if that is something that's coming through here, because I do feel like there's the end of a cycle. I feel like it's almost like a lifetime is over for you, which is super funny that we got the death card really, really coming through strongly, because there's a certain life, like you could be healing a past life, or there could just be like, you could really be in like a rebirth energy, a transition, transformation energy. Yes. But what is this card? The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hints. Soul Tribe. Well, that doesn't exactly fit into what I was thinking. But look at that. We have yes coming out again. Yeah, okay. Interestingly enough, I definitely think you're meant to go on a new path, go on a new journey. I definitely think something, look at that. Boundaries. Like, that's what I'm saying with this moving away from always like stealing time away from yourself, stealing energy away from yourself to give to others, being a martyr in order to prioritize your family or other people who don't actually need you. And this actually feels more like energy of like not helping your family, like helping the children, but more so like the adults in the family, catering and spending a lot of energy trying to affirm and help and teach and play and engage with elders in your family that perhaps are meant to be on their own path and be learning their own lessons. And you could be carrying a lot of burdens that don't belong to you and are not yours to bear in this lifetime, that have been passed down to you and also are being put on you by elders in your family. And there's this energy of moving away from that and finding people who are in more alignment with focus on self and self-love and self-acceptance and appreciation and self-discovery most importantly. It feels like you are meant to walk into a life that is filled with color rather than engaging with a world that is heavy and burdensome. And it's funny because you have the Sun card here, and so it's not like it's all negative. There seems to be a lot of love and appreciation and joy for your family, which is why there is that connection, which is why you are even able to do what you do for them. But it feels like Spirit is saying, okay, it's time to focus on you now, though. It's time to get your life together. It's time to move you forward. You've done enough, It's time to say yes a little bit more to you. Yeah, look at that with the Star Mother. There's something that you might need to say yes to. There's something that you really might need to say yes to. But with the Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? It's really a focus on self. And I was looking at the Mother originally in the Sun card and thinking about how she's really independent in her coloring. She's all orange. Well, there's the pink and the orange here, and there's the blue and the white and the pink on the young girl. The crone and the young girl are more in a cycle with each other than the Mother, who is very independent. And that kind of happens when you become a mother. You separate from your family and you begin to be in charge of your own family, of your own household. That's when you really begin to establish your own life. And I'm getting that same sense of independence that's coming through for you. And it also feels like a bit of a breakthrough. There could definitely be a breakthrough. Yeah, look at that transformation. Yeah. Yeah, don't dim your light. Don't dim to fit in. Okay. So, okay, so this is interesting. Strength at the back of the deck. This might take some courage to do this, and it could totally feel like you are either putting yourself out in the cold or leaving your family out in the cold. This could feel wrong. This could feel scary, intimidating, but ultimately this seems like something that it feels destined. It feels like this is something that was always going to happen, that was always meant to happen, that always needed to happen. Okay. Hold on. I want to... You could also, like, this, it could be the final straw because your back could be up against the wall. You could be tired of fighting or tired of being, always being in this cycle of fight or flight, or always being in this cycle of survival mode. And you could know that that comes from an ancestral pattern that needs to be healed. And you could be like, this is the final straw. I'm no longer dealing with this. I'm no longer always waking up and going to war. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to live a life that is grounded and centered where I'm at peace. Protecting your peace. Protecting your peace is super, super important. And I feel like you're on a journey to figure out how you can maintain a sense of peace. I want to get an oracle card from the Sacred Geometry activations. Let's see. What is going on for Scorpio? Well, back of the deck, look at that. Transition. Look at that. Transition. Like, shut up. Change. Give me a break. Give me a break. That's actually super funny. Okay, wow. So here we have, and we've got mirroring numbers here. We have 43 and then 34. So the 7s could be really important during this time in your life. 7s could be important. But we have realization, passion, and frequency. And perception. But first, I want to read transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. There's definitely an element of transition. And doesn't this just look like Scorpio? Like, doesn't that just feel very scorpionic? That coloring and everything. But then we have perception, passion, and realization. I definitely feel like there's something that's coming into clarity with your, in terms of like what you want to do with your life. Because, for a long time, you could have dedicated a lot of your heart space to the people that you cared about and loved most. But what about your passions? What about your career? What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to invest your energy and your time into? Because you have your own perspective. You have your own dreams that you want to build. You have your own desires. And it's time that you gave those things the space to come into realization. I feel like there's also like a development of your own perspective coming in here. Because you could also be someone who grew up in a family where everybody was, taught to kind of think the same thing, or you just kind of had to accept one way of life, or everyone just kind of accepted one way of life, and I feel like there's a change in perspective, and you are trying to figure out, what do I think? How do I feel? What do I want my life to be like? Where are my passions? Realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. Absolutely. That's what I said in the beginning. Wasn't I saying that I think that Spirit is saying you're going to be moved? You either move or be moved, and we're moving you out of one space into the next space, into the next level up. This is absolutely a transformation that is pushing you forward. This is progress, and this is absolutely healing on a deep ancestral level. I definitely feel this in your bloodline. That's so funny. The ancestor energy is so strong, and I'm actually going to go get my ancestor deck because I wanted to bring it over and I didn't. And you have like a heavy ancestral energy, and that's funny because I'm wearing, this is my ancestor. I've got my ancestors over here, like very ancestral energy right here. The ancestors are totally speaking to you, Scorpio, which makes sense with death. Totally makes sense. This is my ancestor spirit oracle cards. Let me just, my setup. Anyways, I just want to get one more card. Ancestral spirits. Speak to us, ancestors. What is going on? What is going on? Back to basics. That's interesting. But that feels like, again, not even that feels like self-discovery. Connect with past loved ones, interact and relate. Connect with animals. Connection. But I think that the getting the back to basics is interesting. Simplify, reduce, center. Kind of when I see this in this context, and this, I don't usually read the card this way, but when I see this card in this context, this is giving, when I hear simplify, reduce, and center, you see how he's separated from the pack? He's not walking with the pack. He's on his own. He's in his own energy. That's what I feel like is happening for you. Like you are separating from always going with the flow of perhaps your family, of your friends, of the community that you've always known, of society, breaking away from society and going out on your own, figuring out what you want. I also feel when I'm looking at this person here, they feel like they're in a very meditative space where they're connecting with spirit, where they go from, talking with the tribe, talking with the community, to just talking with spirit. It's a one-on-one relationship and getting clear on what they think rather than going with groupthink. Simplify and reduce your mind, grounding and centering yourself. Connect with animals, animal spirit guides, healing past pets. Connect with past loved ones. Sense, feel, reconnect. There's definitely an ancestral energy here. Your ancestors could be calling this in for you because they recognize the pattern and they were like, for this lifetime, we sent you down here to heal this. This is why you're a Scorpio. You're really good with transitions. You're really good with handling really deep-rooted change. You know how to transmute that energy. You know how to deal with death energy. You can handle this. This is good for you. You are a healer. Interact and relate. This does not mean that you are just completely letting go of your family. This is just you evolving, and your evolution is good for your whole family. Your evolution, the prioritization of yourself and the journey of yourself, self-discovery, is what is best for your entire family. This will benefit your whole family. So this is not you becoming disconnected from your family. This is not you becoming disconnected with your community, with your people, with your tribe. This is you actually making the room to grow closer to them by growing closer with yourself and understanding what you need, what you desire. Your desires are important and they are worthy of being considered and being listened to and being answered, because when you are nourished and you are fed, you can feed an entire sea of people. When you are at your best, when you are able to answer the call and go after your dreams and your desires and feel fulfilled, the magic that you are able to then extend to other people and bring into other people's lives, it's incredibly healing. And you are absolutely gifted with the healing power as a Scorpio. It's just innate within you because death energy is healing. It's all about transformation. Okay, Scorpio, so I feel like this was great. Answer the call. You might be asked to go on an adventure. Say yes. Even if you're a novice, if you're being asked to maybe go back to school or go take a job or move somewhere and you'll be new and it'll be scary, do it. If you are being asked to explore a creative passion, do it. Say yes. If you are offered an opportunity, but you're going to be an apprentice or you're going to be a student or you're going to be just, a beginner, it's okay. Even if you're not, if you're going back to school after a while, or going back into the workforce after a while, or you're beginning a hobby, a passion project that you haven't explored in a while, there's this energy of re-entry into your passions, re-entry into life from an empowered place where you are the focus, you are the driving point. I think that this is really, really important for you, and this is something that you need, and I'm excited for you. The answer is to say yes. Say yes to this transformation. Say yes to this transition. Say yes. It's not going to happen overnight. It can happen in small steps, but have the courage to go at your own pace. Have the courage to no matter what place you are in your life, to allow yourself to step back from the flow that everybody else is following and decide where you want to go. You are always allowed to reconsider. You are always allowed to question. You are always allowed to change direction. You are in control. And Spirit is putting you in a position where you get to make the decisions for where you want your life to go. You are not burdened and you are not guided by the stories of the past. You are not burdened by the patterns of the past, especially the unhealthy patterns of your ancestors. They are here to help you break these patterns. Ask for their help. Call on them. Connect with your ancestors. Connect with the animal spirits that you feel connected to. If you've been seeing animals in your dreams or in real life, or if you just have an affinity for certain creatures, they might be able to help you with certain kinds of healing that you need. Look into it. Meditate on it. I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to hearing what goes on with you next time that we meet. But thank you so much, Scorpio. Have a great, great, great time, and I hope to see you again. Let me know if this resonates. Comment down below. Like the video. Share it if you want to. And please subscribe. If you want personal reading, you can find the information for that in the description box below. Thank you so much. Bye.